Troops from Morocco and Ghana get ready for an over-the-beach raid as part of Flintlock, the annual US-led military exercise in West Africa, which this year took place in Ivory Coast and Ghana. A soldier from the Ghanaian Special Boat Service, who declined to be named for security reasons, described the exercises.
It's been 2 weeks of intensive training, and some of the areas included mission planning, visit board seizure and search, VBSS, tactical site exploitation. We did sensitive site exploitation.
One of the US officers running the exercise hinted that Ghana had a big role to play in security efforts, as a long-running conflict with groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State militants spread to the north of coastal West African countries.
We are concerned, of course, with the terror threat coming from the north, and Flintlock is absolutely about pulling our partners together to help protect against that threat. I think from the international community, we're really focused on Ghana. Ghana is a center of stability and real capability in coastal West Africa.
Analysts say US security efforts are shifting focus from landlocked countries to the north, like Burkina Faso and Mali, to coastal West Africa. The Burkina Faso and Mali governments have struggled to halt attacks and military advances by militant groups, leading to instability in both countries. Asked whether the conflict against terror groups in Burkina Faso has essentially already been lost, one expert replied,
I think to a large extent we can say that. There's still a government in Mali and there's still a government in Burkina Faso, and they still control some areas. But I think the reality is that large portions of the populations in these countries are no longer under government control.
Aneliese Bernard of Strategic Stabilization Advisors is a former advisor to the US Department of State's Bureau for Conflict and Stabilization Operations in Niger. She told VOA that the US appears to be increasingly looking to contain the terror threat from the Sahel instead of trying to prevent it.
I do think that a version of containment is going to start to take place at a more aggressive level, wherein we start to fortify the northern borders of those coastal West African states that I mentioned, ensure that all the other coastal states also remain as strong as possible, but keep our key alliance in Niger.
Analysts say that the US is paying more attention to the Sahel conflict as great powers like Russia and China begin to show more interest and influence in the region. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited the Sahel last week to pledge support, while Vice President Kamala Harris is due to visit Ghana later this month. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Sogakope, Ghana.